Hey, what's going on, guys? Mike, Fieldcraft Survival. Today we're talking about admin loading. It's one of the most frequently asked questions I get when we start a range where I don't address it and I ended up repairing loads as we go. And today on YouTube, I decided let's just do it, let's talk about it, and let's set you up for success from the get-go. So here we go. Hey guys, the reason I want to do this is because I want to build good habits from the get-go and preparing you for pistol and carbine gunfighter courses. We teach in 2 to 4 different states across the United States, and I want to make sure that we're setting you up for success. What I typically do is do a small block of instruction prior to the course beginning, but what I've realized is a lot of people obviously don't have the repetitions, and so they default to old habits. So what I'm going to teach you today is how to do an admin load. The admin load consideration is time. Remember, it's not a slide lock or slide bolt reload, and it's not a tactical reload where we're topping off our gun in preparation for getting back into the gunfight topped off. It's not that. It's I have enough time, I want to set this gun up for success, and the small things that I'm going to show you are going to help you build these good habits that I've built over years of training and operations that set you up for success. For example, if you decide to take a 30-round magazine, 30 rounds topped off into your magazine, likely you're going to have a failure to seat in the carbine. That is going to induce a malfunction, including not failing to properly seat, which means you'll have one shot if you get any, because you might not even be able to slide the round into the chamber. So we want to start off from the get-go building this good habit. So I'm going to show you exactly how I do it each and every time. And the key is consistency, because I don't deviate from this pattern and this routine. Every single time I do this, I do it the same way, and it ensures 100% reliability every single time I pull the trigger. So here we go. All right guys, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set it on my hip and lock the bolt to the rear. And I'm gonna do a 3-point check to ensure that the gun is indeed cleared and I'm not inserting a round on top of a round. And it's always know the status of your gun, and I need to do that, and it only takes a second to do that. So here, I'm checking 3 points of check inside the chamber, inside the mag well to ensure there's not a magazine inserted, and on the bolt face. So 1, 2, 3, then I'm set up to go ahead and load. All right guys, so the first thing is I have a 30-round magazine. So this is a Magpul magazine, Tier Tactical logo on it. I'm gonna take these 30 rounds and show you what it looks like when trying to seat with a closed bolt carrier group. The bolt carrier group obviously carries the bolt on the front end of it, and right now it's locked in the chamber, and I could just confirm that by pulling back on it, but it's locked forward, and then I'm gonna try to insert it. Now, I could push with force and get it in there, but likely if you have a closed chamber on a closed bolt, it's gonna be difficult to seat. So what I like to do is I like to put 28 rounds in it. So I don't know why nobody's made, just a pro tip, if you wanna make a nice magazine, make a 30-rounder that has the space to put 30 true rounds. So come here, drop these 2, and now I'm gonna do the first part of this. So the first part of it is I don't wanna insert this magazine on a closed bolt. I wanna open it. So what I like to do, even imagine I'm standing, is I take this in the crook of my hip and I open the bolt and I lock the bolt with this little guy right here, right? This is the bolt release. It's gonna allow me to lock the bolt in the open bolt position. And then this is going to allow me to seat the magazine properly without having to worry about the closed bolt being in position where I'm not gonna have enough space to insert the magazine. You like that right there? Okay. So I'm sorry for the immaturity. 28 rounds, Going to insert it. What I like to do is beer can grip my magazines. This ensures a solid, stable position, especially under stress. This is the same load configuration I use for the gun going dry in an open bolt position, as well as a tactical reload. A tactical reload like this, tilt it this way, positive control. So I'm going to insert and then pull. Pushing and pulling guarantee 100% that it's properly seated every time. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the gun and I'm going to rotate it in my field of view. And what I like to do is I'm going to stand right here. I like to take the gun underneath my armpit to manage it properly in my field of view. A lot of people take this position when loading it, and it's hard to hold that position. So if I just simply rotate it underneath my armpit, it allows me to sustain it in a position that's in line with my eyes. So now I'm going to look at the open port here and close it by hitting this little paddle right here, which is going to release the bolt, but observe it chambering around. Okay, now I'm chambered, but your eyeball, I promise, is not fast enough to see if this was manually ridden forward, fast enough to see if a round was chambered. So I know that when I properly seated this, that I stripped off the round off the right side of the magazine. So you could drop the magazine and then look, and now I have one off the left, which means there's one in the chamber. I don't like doing that because once this is properly seated, I don't like messing with the magazine. What I like doing is press checking this gun. Here's a little bit of advice. If you do not have a forward assist, because some carbines come without forward assist, I would not recommend doing this particular technique because you need the ability to forward assist the bolt to ensure you have a closed chamber. So I'm going to press check this gun by pulling back on the charging handle and seeing brass. You don't need to do it grossly to the rear, but you want enough space that you see the brass, but also enough space that you could release it manually and let it close the bolt forward. There you go. And I could tell you right now that I already could see the distance between the top of the bolt carrier group and the chamber, that I don't have to give it a forward assist, but out of habit, I do that. So there we go. And then I immediately close the ejection port because it's dirty and dusty. And now I'm set up. Now I know 100% this gun is good to go. Now I'm going to do the same thing in real time, floating the camera so you can see the different angles.